He killed his baby, and he's in the house. He killed his baby.
I'm not gonna lie. That being like the first sentence on this 911 call is like fucking crazy. Like it's actually ridiculous. He choked his baby. Like what? This is like actually super fucking insane. Come on, let's go.
And he's in the house.
Okay, you said that he told you he killed his baby. Okay, ma'am, listen to me. What's your name?
When an adopted daughter decided to reconnect with her biological parents, she had no idea that it would be the worst decision of her life. Although she may have been looking for a rekindled relationship with her family.
Well, I'm gonna be real, chat. This video says incest murders. I don't know what kind of family relationship got rekindled, but this documentary is already taking us on a journey. Like, what the fuck?
That relationship would take a disturbing turn for the worse. What is up, Iwu Crew? Today we will be following the destructive series of events that turned a man into a cold-blooded killer. They say blood is thicker than water, but when it comes to this case, it will be proven that father doesn't always know best.
Yo, this is already insane as hell, chat.
As a young man in his early 20s, Stephen Pladl groomed an underage girl from...
Bro, dude kind of looked like Chris, don't he? From Mr. Beast team, don't he? They look super fucking similar. I shouldn't be like making that like as a joke, but he does, bro. Yeah, they got bro pictures, full name, and said that he was grooming a girl on the internet. Look, y'all gotta be careful on the internet. Stay away from these weirdos. Like 100% stay away from these weirdos.
From San Antonio he had met over the internet. He decided to make the trek from his home in New York all the way down to Texas to meet the young girl.
Insane.
The year was 1995, and the girl was 15-year-old Alyssa. The pair's parents didn't stand in the way of their union, even though Alyssa was still a child at the time.
So her parents let her get with a 20-year-old. Chat, what the hell? What the hell? That's actually insane. It's difficult to know weirdos now. They all look responsive. Hey, you gotta pay attention. I can be fair, you gotta pay attention. This shit is already creeping me out though. Make a whole.
Two continued their relationship, and Alyssa soon became pregnant just 2 years after meeting Stephen. On a January
He got her pregnant at 17?
Day in 1998, the young 17-year-old Alyssa went into labor and, together with her soon-to-be husband Stephen, welcomed a little girl into the world. Alyssa allegedly witnessed Stephen physically abusing their infant daughter, who they named Denise. According to Alyssa, he would pinch Denise so hard that he would leave bruises all over the defenseless baby's body. If that wasn't enough, she claimed that Stephen would even trap the baby in a cooler and diabolically wait until almost all the oxygen had run out before releasing her. But these were sadly only just a few of the alleged abuses his daughter would experience at her father's hands. Fed up, Alyssa stepped in and did one of the hardest things a mother could arguably do. She decided to give her baby up for adoption so that her 8-month-old could live and be happy. Stephen and Alyssa's daughter Denise was adopted by Anthony and Kelly Fusco, who were described as very kind and open-hearted people. They renamed the baby Katie, and she was sent to live with them in their happy home in Dover, New York.
Okay, so the daughter, this baby that he was abusing is a daughter that went back to go look for her parents. Okay. So we're caught up. This shit is like absolutely insane. You got a 17-year-old pregnant, then you're pinching and harming the baby and putting the baby in the cooler. None of that is cool, bro. Like that's like some straight weirdo like horror movie type shit, bro. Like psychopath type shit, bro. Like this entire story is just crazy.
There, Katie would grow up to become an artistic young lady on her way to college. All the while, her birth parents, Stephen and Alyssa Pladle, remained together and had another daughter.
They had
nearly
another
10
daughter
years after giving up Katie for adoption. Alyssa felt that they were older now and more mature, and therefore more capable of raising children. They had a total of 2 children, both daughters.
Yeah, ain't no
While
way,
the
bro.
couple raised their 2 girls, tension between the pair increased. Alyssa said her ill-tempered husband's behavior continued throughout their marriage, saying, "He would destroy things in the home when he was upset, punching holes in the walls." Making matters worse was the claim that Stephen could not hold a steady job for nearly 8 years, leaving the burden of providing
Appreciate the
for
follow,
him
bro.
and their 2
Welcome back.
children on Alyssa's shoulders. Stephen's unpredictability caused great concern for his wife. Alyssa would later describe Stephen's true character by saying, "I was always on eggshells. Whatever his mood was, everybody knew, and that mood was often not happy. A lot of yelling, a lot of things smashed in the house in front of our kids." Joy returned to Stephen and Alyssa when they received a notification on their social media accounts. It was from their firstborn, Katie, who was now 18 years old.
Chat, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. This story is, we've only been here for 4 minutes, bro. This story is already insane. It's like, why are these people moving like this? You get me? Like, why are y'all moving like this? What are you gaining from this type of scenario? It feels like there's nothing you should gain from this, like, at all. It's like, it's actually ridiculous, bro. Let's lock it back in.
She had turned to the internet to help her track down her biological parents and was
She needs
successful in
medication. I
locating
feel like punching
them.
this guy.
After
Yeah.
trading messages, Katie changed her plans of studying art in college. Instead, she moved down to Henrico, Virginia, to live with her newly found biological parents and younger sisters. Katie's adoptive parents were wary of the arrangement, but decided that she was old enough to make her own decisions. Familial bonds were formed, but Katie's arrival would only push Stephen and
Bro, people moving like this is a no-go in my book, bro. I can't associate with people that are like this, bro. This shit is like ridiculous, bro. Harming children is insane. Harming your own children is even crazier. Grooming somebody is fucking ridiculous, bro. Like, all that shit is a no fucking no. It's a big no. Like, hell no. Fuck
Alyssa's
no.
marriage
Fuck
further
no.
apart. Stephen's behavior changed whenever he was around his daughter, Katie. Alyssa even pointed out that Stephen attempted to make himself look younger by shaving his beard and changing up his wardrobe. Noticing the growing kinship between Katie and Stephen, Alyssa felt the need to disclose to Katie the abuse she had suffered at the hands of her father when she was an infant. But the news didn't faze Katie. Instead, the father and daughter grew even closer.
What
Things
the
between
fuck?
Stephen and Katie took an awkward turn when the 40-year-old started sleeping on the floor of Katie's bedroom. Growing
He's sleeping on the floor of his 18-year-old daughter's bedroom, bro. Why? What's good, dope? What's good with you, Genki? Like, why is that even a thing, bro? Like, actually, why is that a thing? That shit is ridiculous, bro. Nothing about this story is adding up to any type of positivity. This shit is fucking disgusting, bro.
concerned by the situation, Alyssa asked Stephen why he felt the need to sleep in her room. He became confrontational and stormed out of the house. Stephen's affection for his daughter had transcended normalcy. They had fallen in love.
How do you fall in love with your 18-year-old daughter? Like, what? And what universe does that thought process make sense? Like,
In November of 2016, still unaware of her husband's and daughter's intimate relationship, Alyssa moved out and filed for a divorce from Stephen. They split the custody of their two younger daughters, and Katie stayed in the home with Stephen. Now with nothing in their way, Stephen and Katie continued their incestuous relationship. It wouldn't be until the following May when Alyssa would finally realize the extent of the affection between her now ex-husband and their oldest daughter. It was a bombshell journal entry that detailed the
Katie is my big. Me in my head, oh my gosh, she said my name. I would get very depressed every time. Bro, what? I could barely read this handwriting, bro. What the hell? Let's just let him read
natural
it.
relationship. The entry was written by Stephen and Alyssa's 11-year-old daughter. The young girl wrote, "Katie is pregnant. Dad says they feel like couples. Did they get a little too drunk that night? My dad is..." Adding, "He's Satan. He's Satan. He'll go to hell, but he won't be the one getting tortured. He'll be the one torturing people." In the journal, the young girl drew pictures of both her dad and sister, portraying them as demons. The entry
I want you to think about that, right? The baby sister is writing this in her journal, and she gotta be hella young if her handwriting look like this. This shit is actually wicked, bro. Like, wicked. What the fuck?
concluded with, "Wait 1 second. If he's Satan and Katie is a human, then the baby will be half demon." Horrified about learning of the twisted love affair and the pregnancy, Alyssa later recounted, "I lost it. I started screaming. I felt like I was going to throw up." She then said that she immediately called and confronted her deranged
No,
ex
100%,
about
bro.
it.
100%, bro.
He
Had them
responded,
going
"I thought
through it,
you
bro.
knew. We're in love." Alyssa replied, "How could you? You're sick. She's a child." Alyssa tried to save her daughter once again by calling the police to report the now known incest. Although police interviewed the two younger daughters, neither Stephen nor Katie were placed under arrest, and they continued living together under the same roof. On the warm summer day of July 20th, Stephen and Katie decided to take their relationship to the next level. They traveled to Maryland.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know. I have to look this up. Incest is a crime in all states, even if it's consensual by both parties. Yeah, so I don't know how they didn't go to jail. I don't know. That's weird.
To
Yeah, I
get
don't know.
married.
I don't know.
Father and daughter marriages are not legal in the state of Maryland, so the couple lied about being related on their marriage application, and as a result, were able to
That's his
legally
daughter,
tie the
bro.
knot.
So what happened was this was the very okay, I'm gonna run it all the way back. At the beginning of the video, bro was grooming a 15-year-old girl when he was 20. That girl's parents let them get married. He got that same girl pregnant at 17. So this daughter is their first daughter. He was abusing her by pinching her legs and putting her in the cooler and all kind of weird shit. So they sent her up for adoption. So she came back to meet them when she turned 18. And when she came back to meet them, this is what started happening.
As if the
W
wedding
recap.
wasn't already disturbing enough, in attendance were Stephen's mother, Grace, alongside Katie's adoptive parents, Anthony and Kelly Fusco.
Yeah, this makes no sense. This makes no sense. His mom showed up and then her adoptive parents showed up and no one thought this was weird. Like, no one thought this was weird. This is her biological dad that she's marrying.
They can be seen in many disturbing photos, smiling and appearing to enjoy the wedding, alongside Stephen and a very pregnant Katie. Apparently, Anthony and Kelly Fusco only attended
They did know.
because they felt that all they could do at that point was support their adopted daughter in her decision once again. A few short months later, on September 1st, 2017,
Yeah, they're cooked, chat.
Katie gave birth to a baby boy,
They're fucking cooked,
whom
chat.
they named Bennett. However, the happiness of their new marriage and young son didn't last long. Stephen and Katie were arrested 4 months later in January and extradited back to Virginia.
So they got married and 4 months later got arrested.
Police administered DNA tests on Stephen, Katie, and their son Bennett to confirm their familial genetics.
Bro, they look the same. They literally are. They look related. They look related. They literally look related.
The two were officially charged with incest, adultery, and contributing to delinquency. In court, Stephen Pladle's attorney tried to justify the unlawful marriage by explaining, "This case is an 18-year-old girl who shows up at the doorstep of a 40-year-old man who's going through difficult times with his wife. They have a bond because they're biologically related, but they never knew each other before they had a sexual relationship. He was head over heels in love with her, so much so that outweighed the issue of them being biologically related." Stephen
Chat, was that lawyer cooking in that defense? Was that lawyer cooking, chat? Imagine being a lawyer and defending this crime. Hey, look. People being a criminal lawyer probably pays hella bread. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just trying to understand, like, the fact, right? They didn't even know each other. Cool. But you knew that was your daughter. You knew you gave up a daughter for adoption. She looks just like you. And instead of getting to know your daughter as a daughter, you immediately are attracted to her. That thought process is just fucked. Like, what the hell? Bro
was
needed a
able to
psych
post
ward.
bail and was released first. The judge ordered him not to leave the state of Virginia and to not have any contact with Katie. However, the court did not deny Stephen access to his son Bennett, who was placed in the care of Stephen's own mother, Grace. To leave the boy with Stephen's mother, who was 72, was described by Alyssa as a shocking failure. She continued, "Stephen shouldn't ever have been allowed back to North Carolina, where he had access to his house, his weapons, the baby. I can understand they like to put children in the hands of relatives, but not Grace. She wouldn't have been able to stop him seeing the baby even
And I want you to think about this. That's his mom. She raised this guy, and this guy turned into this nasty individual. Why not send the baby to somebody more qualified? Like, shit just makes sense that way.
if she wanted to." Katie was
That's old
later
as shit.
released on bail and was also ordered not to have any contact with Stephen. She decided to move back in with her adoptive parents in New York.
On Google, and you
However,
see the pictures of
Katie
the story.
broke the no contact
believe it.
order and called Stephen and told him that she wanted to end their relationship. Heartbroken, Stephen did not take the news well. All he had left in the world was Katie and the baby. Things then took a devastating turn. On April 11th, 2018, Stephen went to his mother's house to pick up his infant son, Bennett, telling her that he was going to take the baby up to New York to see Katie. His mother didn't try to stop him. She couldn't have imagined that handing over the little boy would be a death sentence for the helpless child.
So after getting his own daughter pregnant, he kills the baby because she doesn't want to be in the relationship with him anymore.
Stephen took the boy to his home in Knightdale, North Carolina, where he strangled him and left his tiny, lifeless body shuttered away in a closet. This was only the beginning of Stephen's murderous rampage. He left the
Insane,
house and
bro.
proceeded to drive 600 miles through the night up to New York, where he had planned to confront Katie. In the early hours the following morning, Stephen arrived at the home of Anthony and Kelly Fusco. He sat and patiently stalked the family from inside his blue minivan. He was familiar with the Fusco's family routine, and he knew they would eventually leave to visit Katie's adoptive grandmother in Connecticut.
Bro, dude is a actual real life villain, bro. Like, what the actual fuck? This should not have been a thing at all. You get me? This should not have been a thing.
As expected, Katie and Anthony emerged from their house and pulled out of the driveway in their Toyota pickup truck. Stephen followed closely behind in his minivan. Stephen couldn't hold back his rage any longer, and when the Fusco's truck came to a stop, he pulled up beside them and began firing upon them. With every shot fired, he unloaded his fury onto Katie and Anthony Fusco, killing them both in cold blood.
They
An off-duty
have CCTV of all
firefighter was
this?
there to witness the massacre and was the one to make the 911 call to first report
Somebody
the
physically
double
saw him
killings.
do it.
The firefighter described the horrific scene to dispatchers.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
Hello, this is Connecticut. It's on Route 7 and Route 55. Someone just went by and shot this guy in the truck.
Somebody just shot somebody in a truck on Route 55, sir?
Yes, right at the beginning of Route 55 and Route 7. It just happened. I'm a fireman out of New York. The car pulled up, went around him, shot him. Whole clip full into his head.
Okay, sorry. Is you still with him?
We're here at the road.
Where? Right at the intersection?
Yes, sir, right
Is
at the
he-
intersection.
Okay, sir.
He's deceased, boss. The truck's in the middle of the road.
He's dead?
Yes, sir. Brains are on the road.
And he was shot. Did you see the person who
Bro, he said he was shot. He said that he was deceased. He said he was shot 17 times. Can you not comprehend that? Like, your job as a dispatcher is to understand the information that's being told to you.
shot him?
Yeah, we pulled up. There's a whole, yes.
Okay, which way did the vehicle go?
Headed toward New Milford, down Route 7.
Down Route
south.
7? Can you describe the vehicle to me?
It's a blue minivan with, I believe, a South Carolina plate.
Blue minivan, South Carolina plate?
Yes, sir. A light blue minivan.
Okay, sir, just stay on the line with me.
911 dispatchers soon received another phone call. This time it was Stephen's mother, Grace. In the call, Grace described what Stephen had just confessed to her, telling dispatchers about the dead baby boy and how Stephen had killed Katie and her dad.
He killed his wife. He killed her father. And I can't even believe this is happening. He left the baby dead when he left.
Stephen's mother cried out to the dispatcher. 5 miles from the scene of Katie and Anthony Fusco's slaying, police found Stephen's vehicle, but Stephen was in no condition to be arrested. He had shot
Wow.
himself, and
Of
his
course.
motionless body sat
Of course he
slouched in the
did.
driver's seat of the running
Of course.
vehicle. Stephen's ex-wife, Alyssa, eventually looked back on the events and said, "It's been a difficult roller coaster of emotions because I'm so devastated by the loss of Katie and her adoptive dad and baby. But it's such a relief that I don't have to look over my shoulder anymore to see if Steve is there."
Bro, that was actually very insane. You feel me? That was actually crazy. Like, that type of shit is heartbreaking.